Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First 15 Accountability Party. I am Melinda B. Powers, your hostess, and I am the founder and manager of Intentional Professionals LLC. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see you today. So, if you're new here, let me just give you a rundown of how we do this. So, there are three segments to this video. The first 5 minutes is going to be wins. The second 5 minutes is going to be some inspiration from the Intentional Professionals blog. And the third 5 minutes is going to be me time, which is our goal setting portion. Me stands for most impactful item, kind of like Nintendo Wii. And so we can go ahead and get started. So, welcome. Happy Monday. It's a little overcast here, but still a good day nonetheless. A great time to get some things done and to enjoy life. For me, wins. So I think I had some good wins last week, but my favorite, it may not be the biggest, but oh wait, who's here? Hey Errol, how are you? Um, so I had a few weeks back put together some things that I want to do. Oh, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I put together a list of things I wanted to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and monthly basis. And one of the things was I wanted to do a book a week. I used to read voraciously, and somehow in the midst of COVID and all that other stuff, I got off track and I was doing too much streaming and watching instead of reading. So I decided to get back on my reading. So one book a week is my baseline goal. I used to read two or three. So anyway, I did catch up. I was actually behind, but I managed to finish a really long audiobook that I had started a couple weeks ago. It was very good. If you're looking for an inspirational biography and you like women in business, the American Empress is what it's called. If you know anything about Marjorie Merriweather Post, she was the heiress to the Post cereal fortune. Her father started that company back in the late 1800s in Battle Creek, Michigan. And she took that company, grew it tremendously, was one of the richest women of her era. She acquired multiple other companies and created General Foods. So that was the parent or the origin, the genesis of General Foods company, which included like Jello, Hellman's, all these popular brands that we know and love, Bird's Eye. So very inspirational, especially for me. I'm looking more to heroes that are women in business. We hear about the robber barons and all of the men all the time, and so it's really helpful to see something I can relate to a little better to give me more inspiration, because we do know that there are some things out there that makes us different. So just a little tidbit if you're looking for something juicy, but that was a really good book. It helped me really understand. I mean, the fact that she did all that at the time that she did it in, I mean, the early 1900s, and she didn't technically lead the company at first, obviously, because of how things were then societally, but eventually she did take the helm and she led that company to some really great success. But anyway, I was able to finish that book as well as read two other books, one being $100 million Offers, which was really interesting, and .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. I had that book. I've owned that book for years and had not read it. And so I finally read it, and it's given me so much inspiration and so many great ideas about ways that I can market my business and just different things that I can tweak that I hadn't really thought of. So that's probably my favorite, thing that I could get from a book is just a new idea or something more creative. But Trace, is it Trace or Tracy? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And Errol, what were your wins from last week? So mine was reading two books so that I could get my 4 books in for the month. I am a list checker. I like to check things off. So it felt good to catch back up to my pace of 1 book a week. So, okay, Errol, your win for last week is, yes, I saw that. You are now a certified business continuity professional. Congratulations. Awesome. And if you want to share trait, I'm sorry, Miss Willis, I'll go that way. Feel free to share in the chat if you have a win from last week that you want to share with the group. It doesn't have to be humongous. It could be something, if you, as long as you thought it was good, it's a win. So while we're waiting on her, I'm going to just go ahead and transition into the next piece of this, because the blog is very special for me, and I love that I get a chance to really write about the things that I'm thinking about and things that are going on, and how I can help inspire other people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do. And so this week the blog is about reading. Surprise, surprise. So I kind of segued into that from what I was just talking about, but I felt like my chair's a little low. So reading is just a really cool way for us to okay, you're reading a book too? Cool. But again, if you're not reading, you're missing out. And I talk about this in the blog, and just how we can get really isolated. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you understand. If you're just a person that's in business or just working, if you just keep your head down and only focus on your work, it can get very isolating. And you're not going to get a whole lot of inspiration from that and new ideas. And it's just not going to stir much in you if you're not being poured into somehow. And, some people, employ coaches. Some people, they'll buy a program or something like that, or they have people around them, but not everyone does. And I feel like books are probably the easiest way to get that. Social media can be, but with all the mix and array of different things that exist there, it can be kind of a gamble. You don't want to get sucked down the wrong rabbit hole. So staying focused with a particular book is, it's just a really great way to gauge the ideas of others. And like I said, I wanted to hear a story of a successful woman in business. So I listened to that biography of Marjorie Merriweather Post. And that's not something I don't usually read biographies. I usually read self-help and business books. I don't really read fiction anymore. I think the last time I read a fiction book might have been like 4 or 5 years ago. And because I'm always trying to learn something, but you can still learn from fiction too. And so I did purposely throw some fiction books into my list, because I created a list for the whole end of from July through the end of the year. So I have a list of everything I'm going to read, and I just go to that list, pick something, and then check it off when I'm done. But I decided to throw some fiction in because I don't read fiction much, but just like movies and just like series that we see, you can get inspired and get creative ideas from anywhere. So why not books as well? So like, for instance, I read the biography of Marjorie Merriweather Post. That's a mouthful, Marjorie Merriweather Post. But someone actually wrote a fiction book based on her life, like a historical novel, a couple years back. And I want to read that too, to see what they added in and how they, portrayed her life. So anyway, just being able to come out of our own heads for a while, explore ideas of other people, either what they've done in real life, what they've created, or the things that they've been successful with that you can draw from and maybe take and if you're just going to take it and use it, or you can take it and tweak it and use it, either way, it takes the pressure off of you having to find all the solutions on your own. Like, that's just not how we're designed. That's not how life is. And so I just want to really encourage everyone to think about ways that you can use what's already at your disposal to help you, instead of putting this pressure on, like you have to it all has to come from you and your own brain. That's just not how the world works. I talk about that. I used to have some really weird anxieties around being creative until I read the book Steal Like an Artist. And I write about it in the blog. And he talks about how basically nothing's original. Everyone's just taking, recycling, and tweaking ideas. And we shouldn't feel guilty about that. Now, you shouldn't be just straight copying. Obviously, plagiarism is not, we don't welcome that. But every idea started, well, like we said, it's nothing new under the sun, right? But it's just like every idea is not where it needs to be. And sometimes they need to be moved along. And who's to say that you don't have that next piece that's going to help move that idea forward? And we can't be afraid to take those risks. Business is all about risk. So if you're in business and you're not taking risks, you're doing something wrong. And it's just very encouraging once you take all that pressure off, that I just have to have all these original everything. Like nothing's original. If you're a coach, you're going to see that if you pay attention, you're going to see all the same kinds of seminars, webinars, courses, worksheets. None of that stuff came from them 100%. It came, part of that came from somewhere else. So just be assured that you're not doing anything no one else has done. When you take something and you just perfect it, or you put your own little personal twist on it, that's what you're supposed to do, because there's going to be a group of people that resonate with your style and your way of doing things. So anyway, I'm going over a little bit. So we're into this last, it goes so fast. I say this every week, don't I? The me time. So me time is our goal setting part of the call, where you just, whatever your me is your most impactful item. That's what me stands for. And so your me time is basically whatever thing you can do this week that would just make you feel so accomplished, that would really just, you would just be so happy that you completed it. It doesn't have to be some grand project. It can be something around your house. It could be reading a book. It could be taking a trip. It could be, completing a report. It can be all kinds of things. So whatever that me time is, this is the time to share it in the chat if you're on the call. For me, I'm going to start with myself. I have quite a few things, but I think the main one is I am enrolled in a seminar with a very well-renowned business coach this week, and I'm really looking forward to what I'm going to learn in that. It's a 5-day event, so I will be starting that today. So I'm really excited about that. So completing that, but not just completing it, but walking away with some actionable items that I can use towards my business is going to be my me time, and really maximizing on the opportunity of being able to attend this, and all that it can do for me and my business moving forward. So that's going to be my me time. Is it Tracy or Trace? Errol, would you like to share? What's your me time for this week? But I just can't stress the reading enough, like seriously. And I know, not everyone likes to read, actual paperback, hardback books. I've been using Audible more and more over the years, and it's helpful because I want to sometimes multitask. I just kind of need that sometimes. And it's nice to be able to listen, take things in, ponder them while I'm doing other things, or just being able to sit and listen is nice too, and not have to always read, because sometimes reading can make you a little sleepy depending on how your brain works. All right, we're not seeing any me times coming in. You guys there? I know we got a couple people watching. We got a couple minutes. We only stay on till 9:15, so we keep it quick for a reason. We don't want to beleaguer everyone and keep you on too long, but this is just a little quick jolt, like a little cappuccino, a little energy shot for your week. So got 2 minutes. All right, I think something just came in. All right, so you're vacationing soon. Is that this week? All right, Errol, your me time is to focus on your health, get back in the gym. I know that's right. So kudos to you. I have been back in the gym. I am happy to report, I think for the last, is either 2 months or a month and a half. I know I was solid in July for the most part. I'm back up to 3 days a week. So that's great. And I'm happy that I've gotten back on that train. And I even, on my days off from the gym, I walk around my neighborhood. Because I'm really, well, it is a little bit because of vanity. I have a reunion to go to next month. So I want to look my best. So here we go. Oh, hey, Ivo, you're lurking. That's okay. You can lurk. I hope to be able to see you when I come to town. I hope that we can make that happen. All right. Well, it looks like you want to go ahead and throw your me time in real quick, Ivo, or do you not have? Are you're lurking, taking up your ability to do so? Yay! Woohoo! That'd be so fun. I'm really looking forward to that trip. All right. If you could throw a me time in real quick, I'll give you an extra minute. But yeah, thanks so much everybody for being here. Of course, always happy. And then Errol, I'm going to get with you a little later. We have some dates that we need to work out. So for some things, remember the awning. You offered, so I'm accepting. Um, Anybody else? All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. It is 9:15. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Everyone, enjoy your week. Do the most you can do. I mean, within reason, but just have full belief that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish, and you will. And we'll be here next week for you. Hopefully, you'll be reporting some wins, and I look forward to hearing about them. See you soon, everyone.